Today we have a long agenda for the Council. We're starting with Yemen, where Martin Griffiths will brief us over VTC. He's in the region. He's doing his shuttle diplomacy, as you are aware, and he's reporting back today. We find it very important that the Council comes out in strong support of the Secretary General and Martin Griffiths' efforts in order to forge a political agreement, which is what he's trying to do. We find that we need to encourage the parties to really engage constructively and to avoid further escalation. We also are very concerned about the humanitarian situation, and therefore we have invited OCHA. It will be John Ging who will be here physically to report on that. It is essential that the ports, especially Hodeidah, but also Salif, remain open. Kuwait has, together with us, asked for an agenda item to be added today, and that's on the southwest Syria situation. We have asked for that because of the urgency and the humanitarian situation, not least in this part of Syria. We are, and I'm talking as Sweden now, of course, deeply concerned about the reports of increased violence, rapidly increased displacements. It's talked about over 300,000 people, and attacks on medical facilities, all of which are in complete violation of Resolution 2401. So Sweden will push for action on two fronts, urge parties to intensify efforts to enable cross-border convoys from Jordan, and urgently step up protection of the civilians. I also want to praise OCHA and the UN humanitarian contingency planning that is going on. Finally, this afternoon, South Sudan, an issue where we have a schedule for discussions on that. There has been progress, but it's very important to hear about latest developments from the IGAD-led peace process, but also to understand what's happening on the ground. Ahead of next week's decision on sanctions, we commend the tireless efforts by IGAD and its member states to end the conflict there. The region is key in finding a solution, and I think we should be very supportive of what they're doing. But there is a deep sense of frustration that, in spite of the agreements made on the ground, there seems to be continued and renewed fighting even after the two leaders have met. But the talks are still going on in Khartoum, and we understand that there is progress in those talks. So I think that the balance now, and what we need to consider for the Security Council, is to strike the balance between increased pressure but also encouragement and support for the efforts that the region is undertaking. So today I don't think we'll be communicating anything afterwards. It's sort of a stepping stone towards the decision next week when the Council has to decide on the sanctions regime and how to pursue that. I think that, yes, I hope that I'll be able to come out and communicate to you after the morning session, both on Yemen and Syria, with some unity press elements from the Council. That's our ambition, for sure.
Ambassador, what you're discussing this morning are the two most dire humanitarian situations on Earth.
Yeah.
Doesn't the world need to know about them? Why discuss it behind closed doors?
That's a valid argument, but on the other hand, I think the world is aware of the situation there. I think what we need to work out between ourselves is what the Council can do about it. Sometimes that is better done in the closed chamber. But I don't think that much of what's going on in Syria and in Yemen is well known in terms of the humanitarian situations. Right. Well, I hope I will be able to convey to you, and I hope that OCHA is speaking and communicating regularly on that. And I know they are, and we encourage them to do that.
Jordan is saying that they have taken enough refugees and they can't take any more, and that the international community should share this responsibility. Do you think, as the President of the Security Council, that the Security Council should do something on this?
Well, I think by addressing the situation, we are doing what the Security Council should be doing. Hopefully, a reminder of Resolution 2401 and its implementation will be helpful. In the Swedish case, we have a massive strategy for supporting, including Jordan, in their efforts to receive and care for refugees that have reached their country. And I know that UNHCR is in a conversation with Jordan about what needs to happen now. But as I said, part of that is also to ensure the cross-border convoys going in, and that has been difficult, so we'll need to support that as well. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.